Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the HireMyVA Team and Business Building podcast, where we help you to reclaim your freedom through hiring and thriving with virtual assistants without breaking the bank. And that means your bank, the most important bank. And I'm Dave Braun, and as normal, I'm here with Larry Broughton, who's my fantastic friend, mentor, buddy, who's traveling with me through life. He's just, I can't say enough about him. He's awesome.
Did you say my abnormal friend? Is that what you said? Okay, go ahead.
Clean your ears out, Larry.
My deaf friend.
Well, that too. But Larry, I just want to tell you thank you for being my friend. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Dave, it's an honor to be your friend. Thank you. I say this often. I think I may say it on every podcast. I can't imagine going through life without you now that we've been, together for so long. It's been a long.
You can imagine it, but it's not a good imagination.
It makes me cry. It's been over 20 years we've known each other now, Dave. Do you know
something that? Like yeah. Okay, well, enough of that. We should probably get into the topic, right?
Yes, I guess.
I guess so.
What are we talking about this week?
All right. So the next question related to last week is what project management tools do you recommend or use?
That's a good question. When this came through, we thought, well, gosh, last week, I remember I was talking about this. Maybe we need to go into a little bit more detail on this. And so, folks, we've decided we're actually going to do a series of episodes on project management tools. The first one was in episode 79, which is the last one that we did. And we're going to put a card somewhere on the screen where you can click on it. It'll take you directly to that episode if you're watching this on YouTube. But we talked about why you should use project management tools, and we gave you several reasons. I think like 6 or 7 or 8 of those reasons on why to actually use a project management tool. I want to remind you, if you've built something like me, you're going to hate project management tools because you hate any kind of structure, okay? But in this episode 80, we're going to discuss project management tools that we use and that we recommend. But if you're like me, you're going to want to actually watch some of these future episodes. In episodes 81 and 82, we're going to be talking about how to actually evaluate a project management tool, and then how you can pick one or several that you can use or that you can try out, right? And the reason we're going to go through that is not just to hear ourselves talk, because some of the recommendations that we're going to be making today weren't even around 5 years ago, and they may not be around 5 years from now. But if you learn how to actually evaluate a project management tool, no matter what's going on, you can find one that might work for you if you kind of go through this step. So Dave, let's talk about project management tools that we use and that we recommend to our clients that are out there.
Yeah. As of today. Well, Larry, is it okay if I share my screen?
Thank you. As of today.
Yeah. Yes. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, for you folks just listening, we'll try to talk through it. And I think you'll get the gist of it by us talking through it. Yeah. But let me share my screen and let's show you a couple of things. So I'm going to share my screen on the right. You see me looking to the right.
There you go. Yeah.
And you can actually see I've got a couple of Google Docs, sheets, etc. open up. But when we say Google Docs, there's just the whole suite of the Google applications, right? There's Docs, which is like Word for Microsoft. There's Sheets, which is like Excel for Microsoft. There's Slides, which is like PowerPoints. And then there's Forms. And I don't think Microsoft has an equivalent for that. A lot of people use Google Forms just to do surveys and for client communication. So what's really powerful about this is that it's very, very inexpensive, and the tools really, really, really work well. Now, they're not as fancy. They don't have all the great features that Microsoft Word does, but this is basically free or very, very, very low cost for you if you want to, just do a minimal amount of storage. And one of the things that we really like about it, and we've used these for years, is with Google Docs, you can write, edit, and collaborate wherever you are for free, right? Collaboration is really, really good on it. You can be working on documents at the same time with somebody else.
Remotely is what you're saying.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about this and why we recommend using this tool is because your docs and your sheets and things like this they can start adding up over time in storage space, and you don't have to then use your project management tool for taking up storage space to store these documents. Plus, it is a good idea to have a lot of like your SOPs, your standard operating procedures that you're going to use separate and outside of, your project management tool, because you never know when it's going to go belly up and you have some of your most important stuff here in doc sheets, etc. And it's also, this is so easy to share with clients as well. You can make them read only, you can have it read write. In fact, one of the ministries I'm involved in, we're using Google Sheets to share some scheduling with people, and it just, so they work really well. They're solid. Larry, it's rare that I've had an issue with, say, the Google servers or whatever going down and not being able to access my docs.
Yeah, and of course we use Google Drive as well for our cloud-based storage stuff.
Yeah.
But the collaboration part I think is the most, and the simplicity to use this. It's pretty darn intuitive, and so and it's ubiquitous.
Yeah, and
now you may not like the politics of some of these organizations. We're just talking about the usability of this and the effectiveness of it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, so you can get by a long ways and a long time with just using Google Docs, Sheets, Slides for a lot of your stuff, and of course Drive to store it. Another option that some people
Dave,
use,
before you go, bonus points if you can tell me where that picture is that's there in the background with the couple that's laying on their backs with those homes that are in the background.
That looks like it's in that, what's that famous street in San Francisco that was like on Full House, and is that the one?
This is actually, if you think, well, I guess I should just tell you, that's Alamo Square in San Francisco. Yes, we used to have a hotel that was, if we're this couple, like right on the other side of that park, like our view out the front was this park. It used to be called the Archbishop's Mansion Hotel.
Ah,
there you go. That's your nifty little trivia for the day, Dave.
Whew.
Now work that into all the other project management tools.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think
I'm very punchy today.
There's no cool background on these other ones.
Exactly.
So let's go into a couple of other ones. One is ClickUp. I think a lot of you guys have heard about this.
Yes.
And one of the things about all these tools, you can get a free evaluation, play with it for a couple of weeks, and we'll talk more about that in one of the upcoming episodes. But ClickUp is a great tool. They've got tasks, doc, chat. You can set, your goals, probably milestones, and all that kind of stuff. One of the things that you're going to want to look at too is always go to, because and we'll talk about evaluation, and most of them have very, very, very similar features, but you'll want to take a look at the pricing, and they can at some point get expensive. ClickUp is one that is pretty simple. If you want to pay on a monthly basis, it's $9 per team member per month, and it gives you a lot of unlimited stuff. Okay. Which is really nice. Now, so we have had some clients that love it. And just like most of these tools, I have a colleague who there was something in there about the way that the tasks looked in their Trello-like board or Kanban board, that they just did not like it. It jumped around. It just drove them nuts. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why you want to actually do trials and evaluate, because there might be something in there that just doesn't resonate with you, or that drives you crazy. So ClickUp, because of all the different features it has and the relatively lower cost, especially for folks have only got 1 or 2 team members, it works well for them.
And by the way, we'll be putting links to all of these in the show notes or in the description of this down below of the video.
Yeah. So we've got also another one that we've recommended using, and people are very successful using, and I'm not going to show Slack, but I think most of you have heard about Slack, but there's a combination of Slack and Trello that works really well. So Trello is where you create Kanban boards, and you can have lists of boards, or not board, lists of boards. You have lists of like tasks lists, and then you have little cards that you can move from list to list. So making it like a task that moves from stage to stage, or you can complete them. You can also set due dates on them. So Trello works as a really good, at the free level, it works as a really good project management system. That, along with something like Slack, which allows you to do integration with various documents, but allows you to do the quick communication and to organize your communication well. That's a good combination to use. And we recommend that to clients when they're first starting out, and they may not know exactly what what tools to use and or how to really use a management system at all. They may be new to the whole concept. So it's good to start off with something that's free.
And we've been using Trello for years. I don't even know how many years, for a long time, in with our coaching program, the Ugozi thing. And then Slack is used a lot. Not so much with me. I've got it. I don't use it so much, but like Dave and Melissa, you guys are communicating every day through Slack.
Yeah, we are. And as far as Trello goes, also, I have a board called People I Can Help, and I use it for my company for customer relational management solution, where I keep track of leads and all that coming in. It works very well for that. Like this particular board we're going to look at right here, and I know you guys listening can't see this, but this is what we used a while ago before doing a project management solution. We had, for our team, important announcements. We would assign people to it. Like you could see Daphne there, and there's my initials. So I would have tasks assigned to me, and we'd say, and various lists like incoming, next to do, urgent items to do. So if there was anything urgent, we'd make sure that we would put a card that's in Trello, which would be like a task. We would put it into that column or list. Okay. And then in process and maintenance items, things that we would do over and over and over, and we put due dates. So this works really well for those who are just getting started. Okay. The next one is Microsoft Teams. And you'll see here, you can do pretty much everything we talked about within Microsoft Teams. You can meet and chat and have, they do what Slack does. You can use the Microsoft documents within it. The thing about Microsoft Teams, though, is what I've heard from people. My wife uses it at their nonprofit, and they're used to it, and they're using it now. But it took them a little bit of time to get used to. All right, so you just have to figure out, what level that you really want.
There's a video conferencing feature built into this. Right. And so keep that in mind. I've heard the same thing, that, once you get beyond the getting used to it phase, people seem to like it, but it's,
Yeah. And I would say if you're just starting out, probably not go to this. I would say this would be when you think you're ready to go to something a little bit more advanced, or you really want to just use the Microsoft suite of tools for everything.
Right.
So the next one, this is one that we've used for a long time.
Yes.
We use this for years, called Basecamp. And the nice thing about Basecamp is it has everything there. They have their to-dos and message boards, and they have a group chat. You can, what they call, ping people, individually chat. But the nice thing is about this, it's like ClickUp, and it's an all-in-one tool. One of the good things about Basecamp is they've been around for a long time, and it's a very mature product. Okay. There's a lot of really, really good things in here. Now, we used to use this, and there's a couple of aspects of it that I miss. We used to use it, but we don't anymore. One of the reasons is they stopped. It seemed to have stopped any development with it, doing new additional things. They used to be really going, very fast and developing new features, but they seem to have slowed down. And there was a couple of things that were not integrated that we really, really ended up wanting. Okay. So Basecamp is a really, really good solution to use. One of the things that you can't go wrong with Basecamp is if you've used it for a while and you're like, oh, I need to switch, most tools will allow you to import a Basecamp project. And you can also export it and set it up as a website, so you can keep all of your old stuff. And that's one of the things that we did. So that's pretty nice. The other advantage of them is their pricing is $99 a month flat. So if you have a lot of team members and a lot of projects, this is a good way to go. Otherwise, it could get kind of expensive if it's just you and one or two people.
Absolutely. There's better alternatives if it's a small group.
Yeah, the way they manage clients works pretty well.
I shouldn't say better. There's a more cost-effective.
More cost-effective.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. The other one that we have never used, but we know people who have liked it.
We're hearing a lot of stuff about it. Yeah.
Monday.com. Yeah, a lot of good comments. Monday.com though is very similar in that they charge on a per user basis, but they can get kind of expensive depending upon the series or the features that you want. Certain creating dashboards and automations and stuff, it can start getting a little bit expensive. Like they talk about $16 a seat per month. So that gets up there pretty quick, but we've heard a lot of good things about Monday.com, and they've been around for a while too. Now, the one that we are actually using right now for most everything is called Nifty, and they're relatively new on the block, but they're very responsive. They keep developing new features. They've got a good roadmap. A couple of the reasons why I've really liked them is one is they've had some AppSumo deals, which is cool to generate cash for the company. But one of the things I really like about it is the time. They've got an integrated timer that you can set. So if you do client work where you're charging by the hour or the minute, you can easily track your time here. One of the nice things they've got is they've got subtasks. They do things like milestones, and they have some really good integrations with Google Docs as well. You can integrate Zoom with it and some other tools. So it's been a really good, solid tool for us. We've really enjoyed using it, and so we've converted to that. So that's what we're using now, and we really like it.
Yeah.
And one of the things to remember too, Larry, and I'm going to stop sharing now. One of the things I think for people to remember at this point is there isn't any one tool that's perfect. You just have to adjust potentially.
Yeah, well, it's kind of how we started this whole thing. Do the research. You can, if you want, just start with these. Try the free trials, because what works great for one person may not just feel right for somebody else. The whole idea of these podcasts and these videos is to help you find more freedom.
That's right.
Okay. And so anytime, just think about life. If you want freedom, there's an investment to get that freedom, right? Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a little bit of pain and frustration in the beginning as you get used to it. But if you invest that time in the long haul, it should be providing freedom of time, getting clutter out of your space, getting clutter off of your desk, out of your notebook, and get it into one spot. And it's supposed to ease the chain or the lines of communication so that there's information flowing more freely between you and your team members. Okay?
Yes.
So make sure that when you're looking at this, you think, okay, how is this not just going to work for me? How's it going to work for my other team members? Is it going to make me more efficient? Are we going to find freedom by using this in the long haul? But again, in the beginning, it's going to take an investment of time, patience, grace for yourself and other people.
Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
Good recommendations, Dave.
Yeah, thanks. And look, folks, for the next couple of episodes, we're going to talk about how to evaluate and how to pick a project management tool.
Yeah, good.
Okay, well, everybody, thank you for joining us today. Remember, building a team is the way for you to reclaim your freedom. And of course, we are here to help you. So 3 things we'd love for you to do, and we'd really appreciate it. Number 1, subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already done so. Number 2, give us a rating, preferably 5-star. Leave a comment. You're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below. Give us a thumbs up. Tell us what kind of project management tool you're using and what your successes and failures with them. We'd love to hear about that. So give us a comment. It'll help us get the word out. And then number 3 is go to HireMyVA.com for more information on our course and community. Because remember, even without experience, you'll learn how to prepare for, hire, and thrive with virtual assistants. Larry and I have helped a lot of folks, and we want to help you too. So just go to HireMyVA.com for more information.
Yeah, these communities, the communities, Dave, are really some of the most powerful parts of our programs, the Victory program and the Hire My VA. And I'll just remind you, if you folks are looking for mentors or coaches, hey, we're in that business. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask. But do yourself a favor, my friends. Do the world a favor. Go do something significant today. God bless you. God keep you. God hold you. All right, my friends, go get them.
Okay. Bye, everybody.